Good morning, beards going everywhere. It's going to be a funny day. I've got to show you this. We're in somebody else's workshop today and this has had a knock. This has suffered. So we're going to try and sort. If you've ever had a bent one of these, we're going to try and sort it out. Let's have a look. To be honest, I mean, I'm talking now and filming it, but to be honest, I'm not very good at B-roll. I've just had a notification that analytics. Are these people's names?
Oh, you'll see when you pull it out.
Oh my life.
Pull the middle one out and have a look at that one.
I don't know what pollard means.
Pollard's the name of the drill.
Oh, okay. Oh my life. Oh my life.
Yeah. That's big drills for the drill behind you.
Oh blimey. Oh blimey. That drawer. Oh blimey.
Trouble is, sometimes people go, oh, you.
Don't worry about it.
My introduction to the internet.
Oh nice. Right, so this is the plane with its problem. And I'm going to show you the problem before I introduce you to the person who's going to help me. Look at that. Look how far out this step is. So this is the workshop of Robert.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Robert.
Hello, internet.
Ah, there you
Hello,
go.
Jamie.
This is Robert's first time on the internet. Robert and I have chatted so many times. Robert is, I'll put some B-roll up. Robert is probably the best person, engineer I have ever come across. I don't know about known, ever come across. And we think that we might be able to sort this problem out. So let's get into it.
There you go.
Okay,
away.
so Robert's being cameraman now. Okay. So let's strip this thing down. Lever cap. And these are a bit tricky to get out sometimes. You have to twist them around. So there's the iron and the cap iron. And it's only a few seconds for this lot. So I won't bother editing any of this out. I'll leave this in for people who've never stripped one down before. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I've done it before, so a couple of hands.
Yeah.
Some of these screws really don't like coming out. That one's not too bad. There you go. One will last. And how long is that? I bet that's not long, is it?
That is 57 seconds.
Is it? Oh, we ought to have a competition. I ought to get with the guys to, my evening class guys, to have a go. Now this sometimes happens that the screw gets stuck in the wood and it only comes out with the knob as well. There we go. One base. Right, so we've got a base and now it's over to you.
So I mean, actually, in that plane,
It's
in that
pivoting.
plane, it's not too bad. There isn't a lot. There's a little bit of rock on it.
There is, isn't there?
But of course, it's when we do that, and we've got this.
Yeah.
We've got that here. So I think the plan is, we're gonna. I've got a piece of steel, piece of mild steel. I've cleaned it off, flattened it off well enough for this, because if we're not happy about how flat it is, you can come back another day. We can set it up on the surface grinder and we can surface grind the bottom to get it dead true.
Okay.
What we're proposing to do at the moment is we'll have a block of steel, we'll cramp this down to the steel as solidly and as firm as we can with a flat face and a reference edge. So this piece is unsupported. Then we're going to go in with the gas, which unfortunately will spoil the original enamel. We'll go in with the gas and we'll warm these areas here, and then the idea is to try and pull it while it's warm, pull it sideways, and then hold it with the cramp, and then just slowly play the flame over it to let the temperature down slowly, because obviously the issue being with a casting, I mean, some people say you should pull them cold, some people will say you should pull them hot. The issue being is if there's any inherent tension in it, we'll know when we heat it, because unfortunately it will go ping and then become two pieces. But we do have a repair strategy. Yeah, you got a little bit of...
Not much.
That's not bad. I mean, there's probably ones in service that are worse than that.
So I want to point out here that sometimes, and I dislike people that do this, I've got to say, sometimes rather than people just knock the arris off the steel, they actually almost take the flat off the bottom around the edge of the plane. I understand why. It's so that it rides over bumps and doesn't bump into a bump and stop on a bump. It's so that it rides over it. But I think some of that gap there looks like it's some of that. Okay, right. I'm not bothered about continuity.
Okay. Right, so we'll leave that there, and then what I'll do is I'll lift that in and show you what we're going to do. And then I'll need a little square or a little rule, just so we can, let's have to see if we're...
Gordon Bennett.
A bit of steel.
You call that a bit? That's heavy, isn't it?
We'll work this side of the vise.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll have that pinched in there. So we're going to set that level with that face.
Yeah.
G-clamp it down. And then of course, camera can't quite see, but that's how much the nose has come over by. You can probably see it better looking down on there, because that's parallel, and then there's a big gap. Right, I'll go and find some clamps.
Because this is the important bit. Right, so it's just there on that point, which is great.
We're just catching that corner.
So that's good.
And then got a little... We'll obviously...
Do you want a little tap-in hammer?
I do. I've got one here somewhere under all the rubbish.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Right, that's gone too far.
Towards the way.
Right, that's just passing that. That's now just passing that.
Brilliant. And this can have a light skim later somehow.
So we can address that if it goes.
But if we can get this as best as we can get it, then even if it only gets 95% there, a bit of truing on the sole or a bit of truing on the sides, we'll sort it out.
Sort it out, yeah.
Brilliant. That looks good.
Yes, we're okay with that.
Move that again.
Let's move that again, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we're good with that.
What would you call this bit? I mean, I'd call that like a boss.
It's a boss, yeah.
It is a boss. Oh, okay. Yeah, and what would you call that? I mean, we call that like it's called a ring. It's called almost like a captive ring, because it stops the wood from splitting out. That's why that happened.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Early metal planes didn't have this, and then what they found that once they tightened it up, the bottom of the wood.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a captive ring.
I'm going to find a little bit of metal to put across that, because we've got a nice bridge there to get a real good
and actually, this, look, from my point of view, this has been just messed with a bit. Somebody's polished the corners off these little surfaces here, so this thing has been spoilt a little. Somebody's gone over it. As you can see, these polished edges around here of not normal, but somebody's gone, you know, and I don't mind doing that, but to take the sharp edges off here is almost pointless. Well, it is pointless.
There we go, that bears across there.
Nice.
Nice, now that will be just about catch it, yep. I have to have that one on top because it's a bit busy below now with the others.
Nice. Well, you're not going to get much better than that, are you?
Well, that's I would call fairly well held down.
And actually, I can see already that there's a tiny gap underneath the back of the sole. So I was right with the way it's been filed. So it will need. It's going to need lapping anyhow, but it'll probably be worse because somebody's attacked it with a file.
It's not quite 12 thou. We're working in English money today. Yeah, there's 8 or 10.
10 just going under there.
Yeah, 10 just goes under there. And 10 goes under there.
Yeah.
It's very consistent considering it's been dropped.
It's not too bad, is it really? That's why we think there's a chance of...
That's why there's a chance of trying to pull it back.
Yeah. And the buckle, we chatted about this the other day, Robert and I. The buckle is actually there, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
the
that
area,
side. That's the area,
area
that's got the most twist.
Yeah.
Because it isn't a straight line down there now.
Yeah, you got a thou and a half.
It's quite weird because, yeah, Robert and I discussed it. This one's got all the bend in it, and this one's not far off straight. So it must have. I mean, it did drop on this corner, but the damage is there. So I suppose it's a matter of you're going to get more heat in this side than that side, or is it going to be both?
Yeah, well, it'll go up to
similar.
Red. It'll go up to red on both
Will
sides.
it? Blimey.
So,
I'm scared.
yeah, I mean, it is. It's what technically now it is minutes away from success or failure.
Oh, let's just say success for now.
Just go with success. Find one more cramp for the nose and one for the side.
So how will you get one round here? Just okay, just there.
Well, if you get one across,
Ooh, it's getting busy.
you can get one across here.
So that's our adjusting. The
That
adjuster,
will be our adjuster in effect.
which you could slide a shim or something down there.
We can do if we realise we've got an issue with spring back.
Yeah.
So that one will be semi-loose, and then we just need to get one final one, as you suggested, just to make sure this face doesn't ride.
Yeah, because
to help if we're realigning it.
Yes, I mean because the opportunity of trying to keep it flat at the same time as removing the bend is too good an opportunity to miss.
Exactly.
So the pressure down makes sense.
Pressure down makes sense as well. We're getting to the end of the 4-inch clamp, so just have a little. We'll see how it goes. We can always pinch that one up.
Yeah.
Post warm, but we need to make sure it's loose enough. I
think you just need to go this way a bit more.
Let's find something to drop over that. So we pinch. Yeah, it'll be safer in the long run. Because usually what happens is you get everything fiery furnace, and then a clamp drops off or something skips out of the way.
Is that because we've got plenty of?
We've got plenty of meat in there.
Well, we've got a lot of paint on there as well, haven't we? The enamel. So could the enamel warm up and then that's when you lose?
Yeah, the enamel might go soft.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that.
Right, that's going to be better because that's sitting across.
Oh, and I like it.
Sitting across the top of that little castle bit.
And the thing is, I haven't really had a good look out for videos, but I'm sort of hoping that there isn't too many videos on sorting these out. And I'm hoping that if somebody has done a video sorting this out, I'm hoping that they've not done it as good as this, because I want this to work. Well, yeah, you're not going to do much better than this, are you? I mean, this is looking really good. Okay.
It's incombustible well out of the way.
Me tripping up. Nice engine. What is it?
It's hush.
Oh.
No, it doesn't matter. You can take a picture of it. Nobody will identify it. It's a 1902 car engine.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going to turn the bottles on first as well. Right. come in, it's just starting to go red. Nice and slowly, no rush. Hopefully the last time it was this hot was when it was being cast. Colour in it. Right.
So does the bed need to go nearer where the bend is?
It will have put enough heat in. It will have put enough heat in, just a little bit of,
To allow it?
just
Okay.
enough to let it get soft. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you'll get a lot of discussion, I suppose, as to whether you could have done it cold. But I don't think doing it cold is a good idea. A little bit of warm. Well, I mean, that's tightened the clamp up, and that's pulled that back now flush.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going to pinch that down tight. A little bit. I'm going to just scratch it with. That's alright, the paint's on it, so that's not too bad. Right, what we're going to do, we'll just draw the flame off.
Just let it cool down a bit slower.
Yeah, just take the intensity off and let it go back on its own.
So the heat's off now,
Heat's off, yeah, we'll just give it a few
and
minutes.
it looks perfectly in line, obviously because it's referencing off this face. But it looks really good. So the thing that Robert's concerned about now is any spring back. Will it spring back much? But and we've got no crack, so we're happy with that. All the paint's gone. Look at it. Looks great. And that's where all the heat was. Wow. The phone's not doing too bad filming this. Yeah, it looks good. So Robert's just said leave it 5 minutes. Okay, so we're cooling down, and Robert's just mentioned this little tiny nick here is whether it's what not quite a split or something going on there, but actually that little mark was there before. That little tiny mark. Come on.
A tiny bit there.
Oh, my phone's not happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So that was there before. So that's fine. That's fine. And it's all cooling down and looking. So we're just discussing temperatures. This is starting to cool down really good now. Oh. It's because I'm wide angle. Just discussing temperatures. This has cooled down a bit now. We're probably 5 minutes after now. Whereas the block is there's still some heat in there. Heat's transferring into the block. Robert told me all about that. I don't know too much about metal. Yeah, that's easy. That's almost,
Yeah, that's handleable.
yeah. That's not as hot as some metal tools might be left out in the sun in the summer. So that's all right. It's looking good. The paint's not looking too bad, is it? I'm surprised. I thought the paint would be worse than that, but
Yeah,
it's not looking bad.
Just a local clean up, and
Yeah.
you can wear it as a war wound.
Yeah. Or if he wants to strip it all off and do that, he can do all that.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Just out of curiosity, if we scribe a little line on that corner there, when we start to unclamp, we can see whether it hits or not. You got that, James?
Yeah.
Does it show?
Yeah, that's good. That's
Right.
good.
This one is the lifting one, so we'll have that one out of the way.
That appears nothing happened, so that's
Right,
good.
so here we go.
And this is the
A little
important
bit
one.
Moments of truth. There
Yeah.
you go. It's come back.
Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. It just moved over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just flicked over.
That's
but
not-
it
it's not
looks-
bad, is
looks
it?
reasonably parallel.
Yeah. So, see, it went back, but actually,
It hasn't come out. It hasn't sprung over that
It
edge
hasn't,
as
has
much
it?
as it appears to have moved.
yeah. Well, it's because we got a datum to see it
Yeah.
move from. If the scribe line hadn't have been there, we'd have seen a little bit of movement, but not as much. We were focusing on. I was focusing on that. Probably you were as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was waiting.
That's
to see what
not.
you did.
That's not bad at all.
Before we unclamp the main body, if we just have a little feel around the front to see whether or not it's lifted, it's obviously sprung a bit, but whether
Yeah.
it's still holding.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So what's that?
that's 1.5, not quite going to the middle. Whereas before we were on 10
10th
thou,
out.
and it wouldn't. It was 10th thou was rattling around. So it's certainly pulled the nose down.
It has, hasn't it? Brilliant.
What have we got? Let's just try 3.
And from here, it looks like this has straightened up.
Yeah, it looks like we're tight here, but we might be a little bit. No, that's almost passing 3.
So what do we think now then?
Well, I think we'll uncramp it. We'll
Yeah.
have it on the surface plate, run the feeler gauge around it, and then we'll try and guesstimate how much. We've got 2 ways of doing it.
Yeah.
If we have got an issue with the nose lifting up despite being cramped down, what we can do is we can then stand this body face on a bit of shim material, so that face is artificially high.
Yeah.
So we can then, when we apply the down pressure clamp, when it's warm, it will artificially over bend it.
Yes, to allow spring back.
To allow spring back to get us flatter.
Yeah.
And then equally so here, we've got to have a bit of a guesstimate how much we're over by, 15, 20 thou. And then what we'll do is we'll cut ourselves a little piece of shim, which we can hold in place. So what we'll do is when we rewarm, we'll over bend
To allow
get a bit of spring back.
Okay, let's do it. Brilliant.
Right.
So Robert's just said about how good it is, and I'm pleased with that. I probably can't focus properly on that. But looking at it, it's better to do the shim now rather than thin it down to try and square to try and gain the surface that way. Nice, brilliant.
Bits of whatever off it. Right, that is. Oh, yeah, it's now spinning in the middle,
Okay.
and then that's 1.5. So if I just apply,
Yeah.
that's not. That's almost. That's going under a bit. That's. I see it's on the plate over there. So
right,
there's
okay.
There's a little
So when the spring back, it was this actually lifting as well
lifting
then.
as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, your plan of putting shims under the back end
Yeah,
to
so
draw.
we'll
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll pack the back up so the front is standing free.
Yeah.
So when we apply the warmth, I don't know. We'll have a discussion on how much shim to put in, but I mean that's 1.5. So if you
Probably
put
only needs a
something-
couple of thou.
Yeah, with 3 or 4 thou, because
Yeah.
you'll get the spring back on whatever bit of shim you've added.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a guesstimate of how much to over pack that to. Get.
Okay. Brilliant. And we were just saying about the enamelling has done a pretty good job. It's not. I did expect it to be in much worse state than that. Don't know why. It's looking good.
Back to the UK. yeah, otherwise we'd have gone away with our tail between our legs and then had to regroup.
Just noticed that Robert's got some of this and I've got some of this, and yet with furniture I'm not happy with it, but you think it's great. You use it for...
Well, I use it occasionally on the surface plate.
Yeah.
If you've got something that's a bit grippy. And then I use it obviously when I do pattern work and filler squeezes.
Right,
like
okay.
So if I'm doing a squeezing something flat on the bandsaw table, I'll wax it, put the filler on, squeeze my part on, and then when I come to pull it off, usually most of the filler's stuck to the job.
Brilliant. Well, there you go. For me...
It's not just you woodmen.
Well, for me, it wasn't... There's not enough carnauba in it. So it'd do what you want it to do, and I get that, but for me there's not enough carnauba, so I don't get a waxed polish as in the gloss that I want. I'm not after high gloss, but there just isn't enough.
If you put that on wood, all that happens is it just disappears. It just
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, you haven't got any degree of...
It's good stuff. It's good stuff then. Great. I still need to use mine up. I don't know what to use it on. Mind you, now you've said that, I'll probably pick it out and use it a bit more.
Well, I mean, we'd be really being ambitious if we very slightly. Sorry.
Go on.
If we very slightly overcompensated on the front face here.
Yes.
You've got enough meat in there to lap.
To take it off, yes.
And balance all that up.
Yes.
Because obviously at the moment, to flatten that, you've got an incredible area to do.
Yeah.
So we'll have a go. What we're going to do next plan then is we're going to put some shim against this face.
Yeah.
So when we warm, we'll overspring that front face. And then we've got to put a little bit of shim on this face. So when we put the clamp tight up against the block, we've got a bit of shim, so it'll push the nose over slightly.
Got it. Just
by an amount we're now going to decide.
Right. So you've pulled this lot out.
Yep, got a bit of brass shim.
Okay. And will that be okay with the heat?
Yeah, that will be fine. Yeah.
Will it?
If we turn that into braise, it'll have got a bit off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we've got 3, a bit of 6 there. 4, bit of 5. Unfortunately, these have got spoiled, but they'll be okay for this application. Well, we'll start off. We'll start off with.
That says 200.
That's 006.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 006.
006. Right.
And we'll just confirm that.
So what's that? 6,000.
6,000.
Oh, okay. Right.
What the man wrote.
Oh, I thought 200.
Yeah, it's a little bit tarnished because it's measuring 6.5.
That's
6.5 there. So what do you think, Jamie? We'll pop a bit of that under the nose. Do you think 6,000? Because we were only passing about
under the back.
Sorry, under the back.
Yes.
Because we were only passing about 1.5 thou on the nose. So if we put it under the back.
Yeah.
And then that means the front will be 6 thou clear. So if we could spring it back and it went down 4 thou, you're only going to be a couple of thou clear.
Brilliant.
As we got 1.5 thou showing now. Yeah. Having had it crushed tight.
And we do know that the bottom, the sole is a little bit iffy anyhow, all throughout. So it was,
Right, we'll scissor a bit of it.
Brilliant.
So we'll set that up with that.
Right, we're going to set all this back up now, and we'll come back when it's cramped up.
Yeah, when it's all ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll go. We'll have a go at 12 thou.
Okay.
And then
that's not a million miles away, is it? That's probably the closest you're going to get. In fact, it might be a touch over 8 this end.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm concerned. I've just said to Robert, I'm concerned that this side, this isn't flat anyhow. It's sort of rounded. It hasn't been linished. This hasn't. This has been polished. Somebody polishing mopped this, and that's why it isn't a perfect reference face. So it's a bit iffy.
It's caught it a bit.
Anyhow. So what we're going to do?
We'll go. I mean, we can go 2 bits of 6.
So that you can spring back to 6.
If we go 6, that'll be 12. And we reckon we've got 8. Well, you've got 4 thou then for it over springy.
Okay.
And looking at the way it goes, it doesn't look like it goes too far.
No.
So if we have a bit of
an investment, this plane now. We're invested in this because it's working and it's
right, so
it's doing well.
That should be.
It's rusting up already. Look, it's crazy. It's crazy. It is winter here, so yeah.
This side of the pond, it's winter.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we got that for the nose, so that's 12 now.
That's to go.
That's to go
under. Oh, to go the shim there. Okay.
Yeah. So when we hold that in place, and then we've got the cramp on, and we pull it back flat. What we've done, hopefully, is we push the nose that way by 12 thou, and then it should spring back a little bit because we've measured it as overhanging about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So we'll squeeze the nose one.
I've got to ask, is it actually a good thing doing it in 2 hits? Because it feels to me like this is actually, I mean, obviously we're the second go is based on experience of the first one.
I mean,
but are we almost also doing the steel a favour because we're not overdoing it in one go?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously we're keeping the flame down and just making sure that under artificial light we can just see dull red. What you don't want to see, you don't want to see bright red, and you don't want to see yellow, because that's getting a bit too close to the plastic state. So yeah, I mean, I know we talked about this previously, but I wouldn't have known. I would have been guessing as much as you are by how much spring back we've got.
Yes.
So we did a 0-0 test, and got 8 thou, 6-8 thou spring back that way, and 4-3 or 4 thou not pulling the front down. So we needed a reference from which to work, and hopefully this 12 and the 6 underneath will get us a little closer to perfection.
Well, I'm going to add to that the scribe line that you put there earlier, very much like when you use a pencil, sometimes if a scribe isn't razor sharp, the line isn't exactly where there's a gap between the line and the
yes,
surface.
you're right, when you
And
nose
actually
at that,
now that's
that
closer to
scribe,
the line.
That scribe line is under the radius of the corner.
There isn't the gap. There was a tiny gap before. Now there isn't a gap. So that's looking really. This is really good. It's looking really good. Brilliant. So we'll let it cool down again.
Let it go off a bit.
Brilliant.
We pop that. We slacken that off.
No, there's no cheating.
Well, it doesn't go in.
No, it doesn't go in now. So we've moved that already. So now it's that one.
So if we just back this one off, it's whether or not that gap closes. And
now I suppose it's...
Without taking the clamp off, it won't quite pass the 12, but it will pass 6. So that's telling us we've got about 6 there.
But we also realise as well that we've chatted about this. We think a cramp could have been this way, holding this flush, because in tightening this one, that part of the body has moved slightly.
Yeah.
But with the spring back, we think we've got away with it. Brilliant. So I suppose the only other thing... Well,
we're going to do that one. That one's not doing anything now. Still a little
I think it's good, you know. I think it's...
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
If we leave that one cramped as it was, before we unclamp it, in case we need a third go, we could have a run round the nose and see what we're at.
Right, because the nose should be now...
The nose technically was 6 thou away from the surface. Now, hopefully, we shouldn't be able to get a 6 in. So we'll try 3 to start.
But there's 6 under the body.
6 under the body.
Under the rest of the sole. Also 3 is touching.
Just dragging on 3.
What about from this side? Can you actually get it in this side?
No.
I think it's a twist.
That's down. That's tight there. Just passes. Just starts to go in there. So there is a twist. There's an area. It's a contact there.
Yeah.
And it looks like around here. We're a little bit.
And I did say, and it is a bit of a gamble to Robert, should we have something under here to try and now from this one we've seen that actually maybe that might be
another option.
But then again we need to get this off in a bit, put it on a plate and see if it's within tolerance that we're after, which I don't think it's going to be far away at all.
A little bit warm,
but okay to take off.
Yeah, we're all right to take off. It's just a little bit warm.
It's looking great.
There you go, starting to show a bit of heat now.
Nice. I bet it doesn't look too bad, does it?
Down there, that looks a lot better than it was, but I think we'll be coming back for number 3 warm.
Really?
It's a little bit hot, I'm just going to leave it there for a moment.
Right, she's cooled down and she's going rusty, which is cool. Robert's just put this on here and it's looking... You just said about it's not spinning in the centre. Look at that.
Before it was spinning around the middle. Now, I mean that's actually dragging in whichever way you.
Yeah, that's what I like. The fact that it's at the front now. The front's touching. Yeah. Which means there's a high spot that'll come off with lapping there, which we know it is there because that's a low point.
That was the twist. But I mean that. Well, now if you hold that down and tap that's pretty well on the plate.
Oh, are you listening for it? Okay.
You can't hear anything there. We've got our 1.5, so we just hold down in the middle. Yeah. Right, we're not passing. No. We're tight on 1.5. We're passing 1.5 there. I think this bottom face isn't really flat.
That's what I think.
That's not passing. That's tight on the plate. That's got that's if it's 1.5, it's no more than 2 thou. Right.
Do you want to drop it on its side and we'll have a...
have a nose at that. This is the real telltale. I mean, I can. Yeah, I can.
Can you feel
I can make it rock, but it's now rocking. It's now rocking round here. Where this face is out of shape. If we just do a little rub, so it's picking up there, and it's picking up here, where
Yeah.
When you look at it that way, this face is a little bit out of shape. This has come in,
Yeah.
that was bent in, this has come in, and then you got a bump.
Because it's got the support from
You got
that.
the rib across there because
Rib.
it can't move on the rib, it's solid. So that's showing
Yeah.
a little bit of rub there and a little bit of rub there and there. So
What do we do now?
turn it over and have a look at that side. So that side obviously is passing, it's not passing 1.5, it's passing 1.5, and it's tight. So I mean that's within a couple of thou in both planes.
I think that's
lying on its side.
Yeah.
And also, but as you said, Jamie, the interesting one, of course, is unfortunately it's developed a slight twist.
It has, yeah.
So whether or not we feel we should go in and chase
We've-
that a bit more.
Just so you guys know, we've been here an hour and a half now, so this isn't a fast, and it's probably going to be a slow video. But anyhow, it isn't a fast job really. Okay, we're filming it, but we're not stopping and too much for filming.
There's been no tea breaks.
No, I don't know. I think that's enough.
You can chase all day.
Exactly.
I think
2 is probably enough.
we're within 2,000 to be fair, and I think a moderately good lap will
Yeah,
get
and I
that
do,
up pretty quick.
and I do. Brilliant. Well done.
You should ask your viewers whether they think it needs a third go. Of course.
Oh yeah. Oh, you have to ask people what they.
Yes,
Of course you do. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. We're not exactly on authority. I'm sure there's lots of people out there now shouting at their televisions and their phones. Don't do it like that.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
we haven't broken it.
No, it's not broken, which is great. It's so much better than it was.
Yeah.
So put in the comments, would you go further or would you accept that and start lapping? I think for me, that's enough. We've spent enough time on it. It's not mine, it belongs to somebody else, and I think it's because we're winning.
Yeah, it's
sort of
quit while you're ahead.
Leave it alone.
So the last thing we want to hear is that little click.
Yeah.
And then we know we're in the
Looking good, looking great. Right, thank you, Robert. Well done. Thank you.
See you later.
Cheers.